Hello, I'm Seafood Source Editor Sean Murphy, and welcome to another edition of Seafood Source TV, the bi-weekly video blog where we bring you news, information, and insights into the world of the seafood industry. This week's news roundup covers illegal fishing worldwide, human trafficking in Asia, a critical court ruling for the U.S. Gulf Coast, and a potential new player in sustainability certification. First, a new study is describing significant amounts of seafood imported into the United States is actually the product of illegal, unregulated, and unreported fishing, a practice colloquially referred to as pirate fishing. The study, produced by several researchers, including two from the University of British Columbia in Canada, estimates that between 20 and 32% of wild seafood imported into the U.S. comes from pirate fishing. With more than 90% of the seafood in the U.S. coming from abroad, the study estimates the total value of so-called illegal fish at as much as $2 billion US, or 26% of the total value of U.S. wild seafood imports. The study, to appear in the publication Marine Policy, describes illegal fishing practices as any that violate domestic or international laws, evade reporting requirements, or simply escape management altogether. Environmental activists have called pirate fishing a factor in overfishing of endangered stocks. Government officials in Thailand are beginning to speak out in detail about their country's efforts to fight human trafficking in an effort to prevent a downgrade of its rating by the U.S. State Department. The government has been under pressure by the State Department and environmental and human rights activists to take action, with some reports singling out the Thai fishing industry. Activists allege brokers entice workers on board fishing vessels where they are forced into inhumane working conditions. At the same time, activists also accuse the government of turning a blind eye to child labor in land-based operations such as aquaculture. While the government has not addressed specific complaints to specific industries, in a statement this week, Thai officials said they have sent a new report on the state of human trafficking in Thailand to the U.S. State Department. Among other key findings, the report indicates the government investigated hundreds of cases last year alone, prosecuting over 400 defendants and convicting more than 200. The government also said it was budgeting the equivalent of more than $6 billion US for what it called anti-trafficking initiatives. The measures have drawn some praise from the International Labour Organization. In an interview published in the Bangkok Post this week, Maurizio Bussi, the organization's representative in Thailand, talked of what he called significant improvements in fighting human trafficking there. In the U.S., commercial and snapper fishermen in the Gulf of Mexico scored a victory in federal court, suing the U.S. government over its mismanagement of controversial and recreational red snapper fishing over the past 10 years. According to the lawsuit, 21 commercial fishing plaintiffs accused the National Marine Fisheries Service of doing nothing to curb overfishing of the stocks by recreational fishermen, raising quotas despite growing landings numbers year after year. The fishermen also accused the service of not raising commercial quotas during the same time period. No official penalty has been disclosed yet. And finally, also in the U.S., the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has announced it is seeking feedback and suggestions on a proposal to establish a government-run sustainability certification program. Few details are available right now, but officials have suggested the program, which includes labeling for sustainable products, will be on the buyer level and not a consumer education initiative. But in many other ways, it resembles certification programs already being run by third parties, including Friend of the Sea, the Marine Stewardship Council, and the Alaska Seafood Marketing Institute. That's it for this week's edition of Seafood Source TV, but be sure to check back here in 2 weeks when we bring you more news, information, and insights into the world of the seafood industry. Until then, I'm Seafood Source Editor Sean Murphy saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you online.